if you don't shoot your firearm regularly, you won't maintain that high accuracy. It's a skill that has to be continuously honed, or you'll lose it. Driving skills, racers drive, these fast cars. They have to be continuously working in their machine, or they'll lose their rhythm. They'll lose their edge, and you don't want to lose that in the markets, because it takes a couple weeks sometimes if you're brand new to get in sync. For me, it takes about a couple days, but right now we're in some really weird market conditions. So I'm showing you, and trust me, we're still on the same topic here, but I want to make sure you understand why I'm doing what I'm doing on Twitter. I'm showing you small little snippets in price action, not 200R multiple trades, not 50R, not 20R, but you've seen several 10, 8, 5, and you've seen 1-to-1. All of them are rooted on the things that I've taught either in my YouTube content or the mentorship model that I shared last year. Now, some of you are looking at some of the trades I'm doing. You're like, oh, I don't understand this. I'm confused. I don't see the 2022 model in that setup. You're right. You're right. Because that's not the only thing I'm going to be teaching you this year. I'm going to be teaching you how to read price in any condition. Because if you can't adopt that skill, you become a one-trick pony. Now, that's not terribly awful when it comes to being a specialist, doing one thing, trading the S&P over NASDAQ or Dow or Russell. You want to pick one market that you want to warm up to, start a long-term relationship with, okay? And young men, this is one of those discussions I revert back to. How are you doing in your personal relationships with your significant other? If you're not monogamous, that characteristic is going to find its way into your trading, and you're going to look constantly at what's this market that this person's making money in. Let me stop what I'm doing in this one and start following that market. And that, unfortunately, causes people to jump around all the time. And it's worse than system hopping, because you're all chasing the better market right now. And excluding, obviously, crypto, because I don't think crypto is my forte, and I'm going to just leave that one alone because you know my opinion about it. But Forex, for a long time, you all watched me teach and operate and engage in the foreign exchange market. And I've made public last year why I have moved away from that and returned back to my roots in futures. So while there are movements in the FX market, and there will be movements, don't think that it's going to be just like it was today, stagnant. Okay, Euro looks like it was, asleep. You can see small little microstructure setups in that, but I don't think that a new student should gravitate to those lessons. And me, as an educator, as a mentor, it's not advantageous for you to learn how to do that. Now, for someone like a charter member that's been with me since 2016, I believe that they can go into the euro dollar today in January 10th, 2023, and down into a 1-minute chart and maybe a 30-second chart. They can find micro market structure in there and trade the same thing that's shown on that 2022 model, but be forced to be very nimble with it. 5 pips, 7 pips, and then get out, you're done. But to me, I don't believe that's something that you should be trying to do as a new trader. So what I'm doing is I'm taking you on Twitter and I'm prompting you to look at specific things in the marketplace. Whether you're able to see it live or not, you can go back and see they are absolutely right before it happens. And I'm taking your attention to the very candles that make the most sense as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I am calling the market. I'm telling you where it's going to go beforehand. That's where my focus. And then I'm showing you how I engaged in it. So when we do our live streams, I'm going to be talking about how the market moves from one place to the next. And most of you that are looking for signals are going to be very frustrated. But I want you to stop and listen to me right now. If you cheat yourself out of this experience, you will not know how to go forward with whatever I've taught on my YouTube channel. And I mean that sincerely. I'm giving you this opportunity so that way you can disarm yourself about having to be profitable right away, because that's unrealistic. If we were all in an auditorium, okay, we were in a big location, and I said, okay, who here, this is your first year learning how to trade? I guarantee you there'd be more people raising their hand up than not, because word of mouth is spreading. All these folks that are wasting their money in IML and things like that, they're all talking about me now. They're saying, hey, look, there's a guy on YouTube, and this is where they're learning it from, and they're trying to teach it. And that's great. Keep doing it. The idea of sitting in front of the charts with me live, I'm going to bridge that gap that you all have right now. Even for those that are skilled and you can find your setups and other things that you trade, I promise you, you're going to learn things about price actions you've never even thought about. You never even figured that they would even possibly be in price. Now, the reason why this is important is because it will help you identify what you're trying to do as a trader, because you have to have a multiplier. If you want a multiple of 3 to 1, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's rather easy to do. But don't negate or scoff at a setup that would be 1 to 1, because I'm going to tell you something. I can find 15 to 20 1 to 1 setups every single day. Now, how many do you need to do well? 1. And if you made 1, you stop for the week, isn't that profitable? Yes, absolutely. So when you listen to folks, and I've seen so many people over the internet, on YouTube, mostly YouTube, because it's a platform that people like to get on there. They'll talk and they like to hear themselves talk. And I don't like to hear myself talk, but I want to make sure you understand there's a different way to do this. And when I hear folks put on their authority hat and they share their MyFX books and they talk down to everyone else like they're doing something that no one else can do, those returns that they show, they're rather, well, wanting. And when you see individuals talk from that soapbox and they try to tell you you shouldn't have goals, isn't it pretty obvious that they live by that because their returns are lackluster? And they have like this heart attack type, if they have anything going up in an equity curve, it looks jagged, like a roller coaster you wouldn't want to ride. Or it's just drifting down and drawdown, and they haven't connected it for a month or so. And then when they turn it back on, they're in drawdown. So these individuals, they're going to tell you, don't have goals. Don't do these things. A trader shouldn't have PIP goals a week. Traders shouldn't have a percentage return goal per month, because here's the thing, and this is what you want to write in your book too. In your journal, you're going to write, they will say that the market can't be timed, and you can never know what the market's going to offer you. And put quotations around that. And right next to that, I want you to write, this is a lie. And then highlight and underline that. Now, I have had 3 decades of time looking at things that were a complete waste of my time and money and attention. And in the beginning, my first 3 or 4 years was just misinformation. I was overloaded with misinformation. And if you're a casual listener, or you're just starting to dabble in price action and you want to learn how to trade, looking at all my information on that YouTube channel, it could be rather intimidating. And if you're new and you're trying to figure out what it is that you should be focusing on right now, I think personally, if you're brand new, absolutely first time coming to the channel, just look at the 41 videos that I did last year in the 2022 mentorship. That'll put you up to speed. That way, at least you'll know exactly what I'm trying to do as a foundation in the live streams that we begin in February 7th. You'll also understand what I'm helping you build on when I'm prompting you on Twitter. Some of you are saying that you're confused. You don't know what's going on, and that's normal. It'll all make more sense when you're watching it over the chart with me. But for those individuals that have been around me for a while, they know what the premise is that I'm pointing to. And most of them are learning how to do better than they thought they were doing before they started doing that, because they've ignored real-time tape reading, and you have to do that. And that's the only real benefit of me being live with you, because I'm going to force you to look at the candlesticks individually. And I'm going to outline what the algorithm is likely to do, why it should do it, why it should